There we go. Hey guys, Mr. River 312 here, and welcome back to Call of Cthulhu now. Pardon me if I look a little irate, because I am, and reasons being, so I know I dropped off the radar for a while, but what happened with the last segment was I somehow misstreamed it, basically, and it ended up with like an hour and 15 minutes of footage just not being recorded, and I lost a whole new section of the game that I actually thought was really interesting. Like, stuff actually happened, and the story's progressing, so I lost that. And to my frustration, you cannot revert to previous saves with this game, so obviously that meant I had to go back and replay things, which wasn't so much a problem itself, but I kept putting it off, and now obviously like a week later, here I am explaining it to you and explaining why I'm so fucking pissed off. And then for days I've been wrangling with this stupid broadcast encoder, but I finally got it working. And so I went back, I played up to I played up to the segment that I lost. I'll play through that, and then we'll go back to the old save, because I did do some things different in the replay. And one of the things I discovered was apparently Pierce has got to lay off the booze, because apparently it really badly affects his sanity, along with all the other stuff he's been uncovering. And more the problem seems to be that I actually can't pick locks the more I drink, even though I've been putting more investigation points. It affects my ability to pick locks and other things. So that's actually really cool to see this game does have actual consequences for behavior that carry on through the chapters. Also, some different things happened. Like I said, I played the Asylum through. Those two locks that I picked in the broadcast, I couldn't pick them for some reason. And it wasn't like they broke. He's just like, it's too complicated. Shut back. And Cat beat me up because I went to the warehouse. The thing to lift the grate didn't work, so I had to walk out of the warehouse, and I ended up getting caught by her, and she beat the crap out of me. But then she's like, hey, you came back after I beat you up, so I respect that. Anyway, so obviously this is gonna be a lot quicker. Just for this segment. So last you would have seen we'd just gotten out of the asylum. We got hit with the gas, and some interesting stuff's gonna happen. Interesting, I think, anyway. The story kind of seems to kick up a lot more from here, and honestly, it's okay, I guess, kind of replaying this area, because there were some things that I missed during the broadcast, and you actually get to face an enemy in this coming section, and it took me like 45 minutes to figure out what should have taken like 5 minutes, because I am not an epic gamer, everybody. I'm just going to resize that down a little bit. How about there? There we go. Yes. This dream segment makes... Oh, that was another thing. I'll tell you.
Who goes there?
Yeah, who goes there, indeed. But,
That nightmare again.
Here.
I need a drink.
1 second. There we go. I had it all in way up high, you guys may notice. So yeah, Bradley didn't die in that segment underneath the mansion. That lady down there, she broke us out of the asylum, and I forgot where I was. Okay, so yeah, some things might seem different, but just for this segment, then we'll go back to the original gameplay. So the guy we saw get killed in the asylum he wasn't related to the family, but he worked.
How do you feel?
I feel like I need a drink.
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
This mansion looks a lot nicer, honestly, with the lights on. Or maybe she just came in and tidied it all up. It's like, this place needs a woman's touch, as they say. They've been having a little bit of alright, too, it would seem. Not my kind of alright. It doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter. Part of the segment I missed is I would have drunk this, but actually, so one of the things I changed, I said something different back at the Stranded Whale. Have another one. Another one. And what's his face? Miller or whatever let me drink. And that was one of the things I noticed that seemed to change gameplay pretty significantly. So up to this point, in this section I've been playing, I've drunk 3 times.
Damn.
Is this what it's like to be drunk? Like, it sounds like the audio's all distorted and shit? Because mostly what seems to happen is the voices are really wonky. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't look that bad. I bet Belle from Beauty and the Beast would freaking dig it. Oh, that's not so bad. Is that called Dracula? Dracula. Can we play me some of that blue suede shoes now? And that's Charles. Oh, I thought it was like that. I pushed that whole thing aside. Can I talk to you guys?
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would?
How is he still alive? So
Mr.
what
Pierce,
did happen
are you
under the
alright?
mansion?
You look like you saw a ghost.
I kind of wonder if I didn't.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
Oh, so also that's what I was saying with the whole drinking thing. My sanity is way worse up to this point than it was the other time. I think just because of that extra drink I had at the Stranded Whale. Sarah was the object of a cult. Why'd they add me a door? They didn't do anything to me, really, it seems. Also, there was that meat that we saw on the table in the Hawkins mansion. They were using that in the electric chair device. There's a lot of weird shit going on in this game. Just ignore the silly women, everybody.
I saw
Let's
people
start
in
with this.
hoods. They had stolen Mrs. Hawkins' paintings.
Who are you talking about? Why would they do
And here's the
such a
thing, who are they? We only
I
know
don't
one of
but
them.
They were a threat. They've taken over the caves under the mansion.
Can we just go kill
They
them
were
all?
performing
That'd be
some
nice.
kind of ritual. One of the entryways was under Charles Hawkins' office.
We suspect Mr. Hawkins of being involved.
My patients believe the
So-
old islanders used to worship primitive sea gods.
Right.
Could they be the focus of the cult?
Well,
Am
aren't...
I hearing this right?
So you think me gullible?
No, you're just a silly
at all.
woman, okay?
What else did you
Go
uncover?
take your
Mr.
smelling
Pierce?
salts or something, whatever. Okay, is that what you mean, Bradley? You misogynetics. Let me talk to Colton. Did he find?
I found a file. bearing
Right,
Sarah
we found out
Hawkins'
she was
name in the
committed,
Institute's
and
base.
someone had threatened to have her
It
committed.
makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation.
Oh yeah,
And
the
all
Hawkins
were
are
aware
very...
of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would
The,
allow a
the
psychiatric
Hawkins seem to be
internment.
pretty involved with a lot
From
of
what
people.
I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders
was actually in
and
that
Sarah
file? Do we have
Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
I see dead people.
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla.
Now that
He
is
founded
interesting.
the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way.
Right.
Captain Fitzroy's father was also a
what
senior
I
aboard
was
the
saying.
Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I'm sure
I
he
know the
wouldn't be.
risks. I don't fear him.
Well,
Do you
good
wish
for
to
you,
know
man.
anything else?
That is something important to notice, that all three of these men, Charles Hawkins, Dr. Fuller, and Captain Fitzroy, or I think his dad anyway, were all serving on the Scylla, because the Scylla was Hawkins' ship. And Hawkins was sending his ships around the world, seemingly to pick up artifacts. I'm thinking, there's some, like I said, there's some creepy
Dr.
shit going
Fuller
on.
seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines.
I don't understand the
chains,
machines.
Tools of all kind.
Yes. I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to
Exactly.
torture
What is
than
he?
medicine.
What is his?
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
Well, so is
the
Charles,
truth,
according to
Ethan.
you, dude.
And I'll prove it to you. I'm
Is that-
listening, Mr. Pierce.
Wait, who's Ethan? Is he Ethan? Oh, and I also missed that apparently because Kat I was talking to some guys, and apparently Cat made that big, nasty scar on the side of his head. Let's talk to Bradley. You should be dead. Oh man, I really wish I could ask that one.
I found a Darkwater PD.
Yes, I did find that in the asylum.
Lost a colleague recently?
There was a badge just sitting around.
Bradley.
Ethan?
I'm all right. I just had a... It's gone.
You're sure?
If it's important, it'll come back. But I can't explain why Dr. Fuller would have that badge.
The man's a danger, believe me.
Oh, yes,
What can we do,
is.
Pierce?
What can we do? You and Dr. Colm hold test psychology.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins
That's
case
not the
isn't
same
just an
question.
accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
So they tell us.
That's what he would have you believe.
Exactly.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
Did that really
I
happen?
remember that.
Yeah, I think he would.
Why
but
would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's
I think
possible.
so.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
I'm surprised he's willing to listen to me at this point. I mean, he's got a point. Like, we don't really have... Your memory seems to be failing you. Yeah, see that mark there? Apparently that woman Cat did that to him. And amazingly, he's still kind of fighting her.
Bradley, what do you remember?
Yeah, what does he remember?
I don't
So,
understand your
what-
question.
The night
what?
we went into the Hawkins
So,
mansion.
where does
You don't
reality
seem
end?
to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
The tunnel.
No memory of going down any tunnel.
Oh.
No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
the rest is quite blurry.
Hmm.
I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel.
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
I mean, it's not that he just doesn't remember. He should be dead. Let's do that.
You two know each other pretty well.
It's a tiny island. Everyone
his
knows
face.
everyone. Especially
his
since I'm a
face.
police officer and
Nutty.
he's a doctor.
The chemistry is obvious.
I do
Chemistry,
seem
huh?
a little bit stupid, don't I?
Aw, you two are so good
Anyway.
away. Yeah.
Let's get back to the
let's
business
get
at
back to
hand.
it. I really wish I could ask him that question. Then again, he already told us he doesn't remember. But yeah, he should be dead. That might be on the lead. I've talked to
I
him.
met a Francis Sanders.
That was the guy that got
You know
killed in
Of
the
course,
asylum.
he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
Right.
What? How did he die?
I'm
That's
not
just
sure I
that's
can
the thing. Yeah, I'm not exactly
Tell
sure
me how
myself,
Mr.
even though I've
Sanders
seen
died.
what happened.
I didn't see what.
What is your skirt doing, lady?
Something was
Is
there.
there like a chihuahua hiding
us.
under there?
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins.
Visitor. Which
He
we'll
spoke of it
get
like
to in a little bit.
a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here?
Yes,
This makes no
Bugsy.
sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis
I don't think
Sanders
she did it.
mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying.
But there's something involved.
It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector.
And he would have gotten.
I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife.
Wait a minute,
Irene
he's
Sanders.
he was in her ledger,
art
right?
collector,
He
you
got a
say?
free painting from
That's
her.
probably how they met.
If you plan on
I
having
can't
dinner at
remember
the
a lot.
Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom
Yeah,
of it.
especially since I'm more insane at this point. But she might know something that
He's
can help
right.
us. I think we should
can't
tell the
ignore
truth.
the
I think we
truth.
should be truthful.
But it could drive her mad.
Better madness than ignorance. Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow.
Is that so?
Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll try, Bradley.
I'll do my
try.
best.
Better madness than ignorance. That seems to be the two main choices in Lovecraftian literature. You're either ignorant and happy or
Let us go now
completely mad.
and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
Us go? You don't go with me, right?
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Yeah, because the thing is, he should be dead or at least horribly injured. But somehow he forgets the events and turns up alive. None the wiser. I don't know. Anyway, let's just get going. Here's where it gets a little interesting. Pierce, Colden, and Bradley decide to team up to solve the Sarah Hawkins case. They have a new trail to follow. Francis Sanders, an art collector and friend of the painter who died right in front of Pierce. The detective goes to his house in order to speak to his widow about the Shambler that the unfortunate man mentioned before he died. Man, I went back and watched the video. I didn't realize quite how graphically that poor man died. Oh boy. Yeah, this... Here we go. That is such a cool jacket.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs.
Hello.
Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins.
I really like the voice acting in
Can
this
I
game.
come in?
I feel like the models are a little
may.
janky. Like, the animations are a little weird.
However,
but
before we go any
aesthetically, I
further,
love the
please
game.
know that my husband died yesterday.
I didn't know.
That is precisely
Hey,
what...
I forgot that she was here.
Well, well, look who's here.
It's interesting how she dresses. Like she's ready for a street fight, that's for sure. She don't put up with no shit, I'll give her that. Cat's
You know each other.
intimidating.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters.
Yeah, you beat the crap out
The
of me.
main thing is that we understood one another.
Oh.
The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating
She
someone's
bumps into
death.
me, more like...
It's a small island, detective. My island.
Did I just...
It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why?
Oh,
Who
bummer.
hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker.
Cat
This way,
Baker.
Mr. Pierce.
Mm-mm.
And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
I do have a fair bit to tell you, man. Oh my god, that painting's hideous. Is that supposed to be of Irene?
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital.
Yeah, or
He
underneath
spoke
the
to me
hospital.
about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings.
He seemed particularly
Please forgive
interested
my
in one of
tone.
his paintings.
The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned.
And she doesn't get to see
You,
his
on
body.
the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died.
Can you imagine what that'd be
How
like?
was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
I said I'd be. He died screaming right before my eyes. God, you must not feel guilty. You're taking it quite well. I was no longer there when it happened. Let's try to
What
comfort her.
happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable.
I mean, she needs help.
The man I
Doesn't
met
matter.
yesterday had lost his reason.
Right.
He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course.
This will affect your destiny.
Thank you for your kind words. Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However,
Maybe I
it
should
will
have been
require
honest.
more
I don't know.
than that to
Technically I
soothe
was,
my
but-
mind. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute?
So
And
reputed, they
right
don't let you
before your
into certain
eyes.
areas.
Did you not do anything to help him?
I share your grief, but I had nothing. The true culprit is for. It wasn't me who sent him there. How did he? Did she commit him? I'm gonna say.
So ask Fuller, he's the eminent doctor. But I would caution you, you'll find his treatments more terrifying than the illnesses he sets out to cure.
That churl no longer takes the trouble
Oh,
to
damn.
receive me. He sends his secretary to tell me that I cannot see Francis. Me. his own widow.
His body
He
got a
must
little
think that I am a
fucked up.
terrible
I mean,
wife for having abandoned him in such a way.
what could you do?
But I only wanted what was best for him.
I'm
I mean,
not
how
here
could
to
you
condemn
not?
you, Mrs. Sanders.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Tell me of the Shambler. What is Cat doing here? Will I get to say all these things? I feel like this is the most important.
I
doesn't
deduce
matter.
that
That's
your
the most
husband
important
already
question.
mentioned this dimensional Shambler.
Well, you can't imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place
Right.
for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Wait, does
Hold
she?
on. The Shambler is a painting
Yeah, I know it's painting.
by Sarah
Just-
Hawkins.
Just had some thought.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
Oh, I will.
It is my only lead at this
Oh, wow.
stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it, I would urge you to make the most of your visit. Because I count on ridding myself of that thing as soon as I can.
And trust
Thank
me, she
you,
has
Mrs.
reason
Sanders.
to do so.
I won't be long.
She has reason to do so, my friend. Friends.
The day the
You guys are
Shambler
my
came
friends.
into the
Just
Sanders'
kidding.
lives.
It is a truly grotesque painting. Oh, here we go. I love the reconstruction mechanic.
Frances Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
Certainly seems so. That's what his actual face looked like in time. Very, very.
A house of artists.
Okay, I can only look in this ledger.
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler. Finally.
Where?
What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
Right, he got it for free because we found that ledger in Sarah's office. Is she actually dead? I'm not sure I followed correctly.
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom?
I'm sure he would not have cared less. Okay. Oh, here we go. Gotta look at these two.
She first refused to sell the painting. How did that make her feel?
Well, I mean, I do wonder exactly why.
Was she
Did
jealous
know?
of Sarah Hawkins?
I kind of wonder if there wasn't some sort of affair going on. But. Oh, yeah, this shit. Can you imagine?
The Shambler. I need to see it.
We don't, but we will. We don't really need to see that shit, but we will regardless. Okay. Locked. I wonder if there is anything behind there. Oh, yeah, there was something I forgot.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
It took me. I found that in the last attempt. Let's see what it does. Oh, is that how?
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids. Each time I shut my eyes.
Maybe that
I
was.
can't take anymore. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
Hold him back.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
And I don't know if it's so much her fault, but maybe more the meddlings of her husband. Sarah's, I mean, maybe that, and I guess in that case she's not innocent, but doesn't look like she had
I
a
could
whole
use
lot
one of those.
Didn't look like she had a whole lot of power in this situation.
A strange Amerindian
Yoink.
pendant. An old diary.
Diary of the pastor's wife. I have a lot of things in here I haven't checked out. Oh, actually. Well, I mean, once after this section of the level, we're gonna go right back to where we were, so... Yeah, see here, I'm already down to shaken. Although last time... I think literally just that drink made all the difference. Because I was like, I think it was like up here, so sanity being at least stable. There. Alright, so... Oh, okay, that's just a container for the thingy. Alright, so... I was looking for something. What did I come in here to look for? I don't want to feel like I'm hiding anything. What was I looking for? I think it's under knowledge. Oh, here we go. The volume spent some time on Reverend Wickwood's community. His wife expresses her worries at the strange dreams. Some members of the community, her husband included, began to speak of their visions and messengers sent by God. She is scared that they will suffer the same fate as the Lost Tribe. Hello, girl. Don't beat me up again. Hmm? No, I didn't notice that one last time. God, I am freaking smart. Doesn't look like there's any...
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
I cannot be the architect of your fall, and I beg you forget the Shambler. If our friendship meant anything of you, please spare me the weight of guilt. Well, if she's still alive, I bet she's feeling the weight of that. Boop. Psh, you didn't know shit. Oh, I probably need to pick that up anyway. What's this? Read the book. This is one of the weird occult thingies. The Malus Mysterium. This is the book that it's kind of like the Necronomicon in that it tells us about a lot of different things. How badly did that affect my sanity? Ooh, I took a chunk. The ordeals you've gone through have left their mark. I don't know. I feel like I kind of want to keep towards sanity, but at the same time I want to see what it's like to go down the proper
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
Come on, Kat,
I've got
a
lot of bad habits.
I've got a lot
Some
of
can be
bad
more
habits.
fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I'm not here to create a problem. It's none of your business. Yeah, that would be bullshit, so I'm not gonna say that in your painting.
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit
Worry
about your
me.
bootlegging business.
Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
Okay, lady, jeez. Very well, and you, what are you doing here?
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
Right.
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings.
Can't
She
blame
doesn't
her.
intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Hopefully she'll burn
Believe
the
it or
place
not,
down.
there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
Oh, don't flatter yourself, lady. I'm far more
Not
pleasant.
now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
She a fish out of water? Cause call her thirsty. Alright, here we go. Okay. Yeah, check all this shit out, though.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Look at some of this shit, though. Like all these daggers. All these, like, stone tablets, the statues. Oh, that one's cool. I want that one. You call that a knife. Now what's this? Oh, it's human. Okay. I mean, it looks kind of ape-like. Interesting. Now, the closet's confusing, because I don't know how long you can be in them. Because it seems Pierce is hugely claustrophobic. Just making sure. Oh, here we go. Oh, that one's even better. Oh. Press E to Okay.
The man transforms an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Wait, some of it's cool? Never mind. Some of it's cool. I mean, look at that shit. That's artistic as fuck. That's lantern oil. I don't think I need any, but... Oh, maybe I did. Here she is. The dimensional Shambler. God, that is grotesque. And here comes the fun part, as you guys will see. Oh boy. Sorry, my throat just seems like really... I'm speaking like a frog. Here we go. This actually terrified me when I first saw it. Look at that. Oh, look at him. He looks so ragged. Take cover! Look at that shit. Oh boy. Ugh. Nasty fucking thing. I look a little bit draggled. Oh god. Ugh. Nasty motherfucker. Okay. Leave me alone, buddy. It took me forever to figure out how to get past this part too. I mean, I managed to spend like 40 minutes. So you can't look at this thing.
What the hell was
You
that?
can't look directly at it. You can kind of use your periphery, but there's kind of a system to being it. Because I'm shit. Alright. See, he like immediately sees you. Okay, I don't remember, because so what I have to do is find a knife. Where are you? There he is. Where is he? Crap, he's got me cornered. Cannot look at him for too long. I cannot look at him for too long. Was he here?
That maybe I can use this dagger.
Wait, no. This isn't the right one. It's that kind I think that I found in the... Yep, that wasn't the right one.
Damn it! This dagger didn't work.
Where are you, fucker? Where are you? This guy must have killed me like 10 times. I wonder if it... No, I remember it was in this back room, but yeah, you had to find a dagger to damage the painting. Come over here. Where is he? Chasing. God, the ambience is terrifying. It might be that one? No. It's one of these. I think it's this one. We'll use them one by one. There's like curse freaking Francis for using a bazillion different daggers. Yeah, you can't look at this thing or it'll paralyze you.
Damn it! I have to use a specific dagger.
What one was it? Did it like shuffle it around? It's not these cool looking ones around. Yeah, sorry, it's actually kind of unnerving. There he is. What's he doing? No, a little turd bucket. Oh, he caught sight of me. You have to kind of just lead him around. There we go. Kind of feels like amnesia. Oh, maybe it was this one.
This dagger looks different.
I think this is the one. Okay, hold on, I might have to... Nope, he's right there. Just as you may have seen, there's like a barrier on the doors, so I can't get out until I demolish this turret. What's this? Oh, okay, this is where I can't see shit. Okay. Running for it! Booyah! Bitch! Yes! What's that one? What is that? Look at this thing. Nasty. Reminds me of... oh god, there's some creature that reminds me of something. No, Bessie, I don't want it. Bessie and my anaconda don't want it. Get out of here. Be gone, thought. Uh-oh. I forgot. Don't do it. Don't do it.
What's the matter with you?
Hi. I'ma just keep this. Don't you mind me, Missy? Yeah.
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
never said that, but okay.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Let's see. This painting is cursed. No, I just drank a little bit too much. I mean, those are both honest. One just sounds crazy. Let's just talk about that.
Sanders was right. This painting is cursed.
What are you talking about?
Of course you want to see
I was
it.
attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
Are you placating me? Excuse me? You didn't hear anything? Must have noticed the state of my arm. Let me ask
You
her.
knew.
She probably does.
You knew about the beast.
She's smarter than she
What are
looks,
you
that's for sure.
talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life.
Yeah, I might
It's
need
an
it.
extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater.
I hear that guy
He'll
puts
tell you
out
all
some
about it.
really
From
nice
what I saw
soft
in the
rap
ledgers,
albums.
it was him who sold it to Sanders.
Oh, okay. Get this information free of charge.
It's not your style to give me free information like
I
that.
owe her a favor.
Take it as payment for
technically.
being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I still got things to settle with Irene.
I'll be gone, lady. I think she suspects something's up at least. Was there something in that box I missed? That is a truly hideous painting of you, by the way, Irene. I mean, you're not my cup of tea, but that is a hideous painting. The Shambler turned out to be much more than an artwork. As a huge creature came out of the painting to attack Pierce, after a hard fight, Detective managed to send it back into the painting. He later discovered that the dagger he used to repel the creature had been sold to Sanders by a man named Algernon Drake, owner of the Nameless Bookstore. That's like calling your painting untitled. Pierce decides to pay the library a visit. Okay. Here. Oh, that's right. He gets here and already it looks broken into. Because the thing about Kat, she's intimidating and a force to be reckoned with, but I don't think she's at all the biggest threat on the island. If anything, she might actually be one of our closest allies with Bradley. Because now Captain Fitzroy is definitely suspect. Okay, here we go. So I gotta leave that one and go back to the old safe state. There we go. Okay, we're back on track. We're a little less inebriated. Well, actually, I'll check my sanity. I'll have to check my sanity and see how that sits. I'm glad to be playing this game again. I wasn't going to record tonight because of all the fucking frustrating shit I had to deal with the recording software. It takes like 6 minutes to set up a broadcast. But it's worth it. Okay, we already saw that. Alright, so let's check Pierce's sanity at this point. Oh, maybe I wasn't any better. So maybe just being inebriated really just affected my ability to pick the locks. The ordeals you've gone through have left their mark, but you still manage as best you can. You still have some ways to go. Who knows where your path could lead you. Can you improve your sanity? Mental trauma. That one was a big one, though. I'll definitely give him that. And I have a lot of skill points. Okay. Kind of kept things balanced, but away from eloquence. Let's put 1 point investigation. Strength is about as good, I think, as it can be. Let's put more in spot hidden. Okay. Validate. Yes. I will go for an hour. We'll just see what... It's clear she holds Sarah Hawkins responsible. Poor Francis died right before my eyes. Captain Fitzroy is definitely suspect in my eye now. The bootleggers despise him, but isn't he the only way alcohol gets off the island? Death of Francis. Yeah, I read the book too. I lost some of my sanity. I don't know why I read the book, but call me morbidly curious. Check my inventory, check my knowledge to destroy libtards. Okay. Kind of an encyclopedia. I'm beginning to believe they exist.
Where's the bookseller?
Is he gonna come out of the corner?
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
Diaries of Pain. What's this one talk about? Is it my inventory? I think it's under knowledge, right? Yeah, there we go. The pastor declared himself to be the prophet. He renounced God and began a strange pagan entity with a monstrous appearance. His wife tried to reason with her husband, but in vain. He convinced that he must listen to the voice in his head because it holds the truth. And that's what's funny, because really the truth is the most maddening thing in Lovecraft. Like, it's so bleakly
Freud's The
realistic,
Interpretation
I
of
guess.
Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
The analysis must follow several rules, that of free association, treats dreams as a way of revealing buried desires. It's funny, because today I think he's basically discredited. Like, no one really believes him anymore. Darkwater history. A Puritan colony led by Reverend John Wickwood settled on the island in the 17th century. And those were the people that went missing, right? They believed it was because of the peculiar color of the rocks surrounding the island. They erected the first buildings, among which was the Hawkins mansion. The rare documents and handwritten notes they left spoke of nightmares and deviant behaviors. They disappeared about 100 years later. Interesting. No myth, no hidden objects for me. This feels quite close. I still don't understand the oil glowing thing. I'm sure that'll be significant. Linguistics. Okay, and they just give me more points. Give me that shit. Or did they? I guess not. Oh, right, no. It's because they added it into the occult section. Pardon me. Did you hear that? Yoink. Here, they probably should bring out my lantern. There's probably something they can't normally see. More history. 19th century, as the American whaling industry reached its peak in the rest of the world, whales gradually disappeared. The phenomenon appears even more mysterious because up until then, the region was favored by cetaceans. In 1847, after months of pursuit, the Scylla returns to port with a gigantic creature on board. Oh, the miracle catch. The miracle catch wasn't a whale. I must have missed that. But they think it's the monster that ate the whales. Wow, that is interesting. That I missed. Sorry. Okay. It's our phonograph. Okay. I love this old lantern. Brings me right back to amnesia. Just make sure I didn't miss nothing. That's disgusting. I'm not gonna look at that anymore. Huh, that's like some Da Vinci drawings. That's kind of cool. Whoop, man, there's a door here I didn't even see. Hello.
What happened here?
Hello. Hello, sir. Ooh. Someone has decent taste. I love pre-Raphael. How'd they say Raphaelite?
Let's start
paints?
over. Where did they break in from?
So, I wonder where.
Seems like amateur work.
So they punched through the glass, obviously. They didn't even bother to use a brick or anything. Did I miss something there?
Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably.
A man. Oh.
This burglar seems to be rather clumsy.
For some reason, he stopped to attack the bugs. Oh, did I miss all that back there? I'll have to go check. Go back in here. A bunch of clues.
What killed all these animals?
Oh, nasty.
What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene?
Wait, he had a crowbar, but he Oh, God, that is disgusting.
What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work?
He probably didn't like what he found in the safe. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What the... Charles Hawkins?
Oh. Wait, how do you know it was Charles? He got
Looks
repelled
like
by
the
the...
symbol rejected Hawkins.
That's
Where did
'cause
I see it?
That's the Elder's sign. That in the mythos, they use that to repel...
What sort of power did Sarah
entities.
Hawkins' painting possess?
Right. Oh, is that what I think it is?
Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this
Is
safe.
that what I think it is? Does she have a copy of the Necronomicon? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, this isn't doing me any good.
Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here.
Right.
Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
There's definitely a lot of fingers in this pie. Interesting. Can I take?
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
The page seems to be hidden here. If someone finds these memoirs, there will be no doubt that I'm in serious trouble. My last and only hope is that my body and bones are still in this plane of reality in order that they be recovered and burned. The funeral urn must be given to my dear mother, if she is still of this world. The fellow message is of capital importance. Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates acuity as sharp as mine can hope to gain access to my most precious possession. It's gotta be Necronomicon. It lies within my safe, and the clues to the common... Or is it the bas relief? No, she just showed her putting a book in. Maybe, I don't know. The clues to the combination could be found in 3 cylinders, each hidden with life and studies combined in the Greek world. Order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. That's actually pretty philosophical. Indeed, despite my preference for organized chaos, I must admit that reason usually prevails in the end. If, by chance, a person, or should I say a genius, was to match my intellect and find a combination, I would ask that they deliver its contents to the safekeeping of my friend and colleague, Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University. The content of this safe is not only a vast digest of knowledge, but it's also a weapon. It's gotta be the Necronomicon. Everyone's looking for that book in Lovecraft stories. Everyone wants that book. I hope that you will be able to appreciate the danger that this represents and that you will act accordingly. In any event, I will neither be there to guide nor suffer you from your actions. Okay. Because there's only like 2 copies of that book, and I believe people really want... There's a lot of people that want to read that book, so I gotta find 3 cylinders. Ooh, hear that? It's talking. Oh, that's creepy. That is super creepy. Nothing there.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
No kidding. Everyone wants. It's the same pills.
What
too.
link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
This key that bears the Elder sign is the only one able to protect your psyche, and this is the form of a cylindrical medallion hanging on the end of a heavy chain. 200 years ago, the star and the branch whose purpose is to push back the forces of the great old ones were engraved at its center. Everything points to it being Charles Hawkins that tore it from its last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer. In press cuttings, I mentioned a misdemeanor. The date of the robbery coincides with the last of Hawkins' trips to Cairo. That's what I thought, because they were talking about it. He was an explorer. He was taking lots of foreign trips. Obviously, he was looking for some very important objects. It remains to see whether he knows of a true object or not. Try to find it. Indeed. Okay, so I suppose I have to look. Aha! Oh, wow.
Arkham editions. Never heard of them.
Arkham Asylum.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Key of Solomon. Wait. What?
Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Edition. Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection?
Oh, God. Okay.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Azathoth and Other Horrors. The Nightmare Lyrics. Azathoth.
Arkham Editions. Never heard of them. How many volumes are
Do
there
ignore
in this
the
collection?
shit like that. There's Nostradamus.
Another volume
Looking
by
at
Arkham
Blah,
Editions.
blah, blah, blah.
Arkham Editions.
Corpus.
Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this
Aurelia.
collection?
Okay. I'm sure I'll... Here.
Cylinders that Drake tried to
Oh,
hide.
I found two of them.
I should perhaps listen to them.
Oh, is that what the phonograph is for? Were those books even there before? Hello? What is that? Should I? Yeah.
What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy
Oh, it's more
knowledge.
Malus Mysterium. Creatures I've never heard of. Divinities from the stars. Creatures capable of traveling to one dimension to the other. It presents itself as the reference work on the beast theory of the myth, without giving details on the mythology to which it refers. That's the Shambler. Look at it coming out through the painting and everything. How badly did that hurt me? My sanity. Oof. At this point, I might as well just go full insane. I gotta check my progression sheet. 60%. Damn. Oh. More medicine books. I don't even know what that does for me.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
Helena Petrova Blavatsky. I actually kind of want to look at that then. Wait, that's occultism? What are you talking about? How's that occultism? That's not even the right word. Oh. God, there's... Who would have thought I'd find so many useful books in a bookstore? Okay, so let's see some. Yoink, fill that up. So somewhere here... I bet the last one's in a hidden safe or something. Can I move these? No. Maybe it's in the office. There? No. What's that? Alchemy. Okay. Well, I should give them a listen. Maybe they'll tell me where the last one is. Yoink. I don't have the first cylinder. Let's put in this one. Or can I? Oh, here we go.
And these red drops, like precious stones, dear
Oh.
friend. I thank you. And
Here
these
we go.
red drops, like I finally understood the dear friend.
Here we go.
I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my
You
research.
sell that book.
I never tire of browsing through them.
Okay.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
I don't think humanity has much of a
And these
choice in the
red
grand
drops,
scheme of
like
things.
precious stones,
At
lie
least in the
stripped,
Lovecraft universe.
set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Okay. Oh.
The Queen has little protection.
The Queen is surrounded. Okay. Clues. The key of Riley file. Right. Wait. Might contain some important. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so we need the Azathoth book.
Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes
Here it
that
is.
Drake was talking
Here
about
it
in
is.
his message. What did Drake say about this collection?
Indeed.
Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in
Isis
his
unveiled.
message.
Allah, no, don't talk about that. Alright, let's listen to them again real quick.
And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in
They sound
divine
different.
gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry.
Grail.
And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number
I wonder who
dwindling,
he was playing with.
and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed
Okay.
particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
The Queen has little protection.
I feel like there's something I'm missing.
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular... So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about... Drake talked about a particular... So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
Expect to open a safe. Oh! Wait a minute.
What did Drake say
Wait, so-
about this collection? Drake talked about
Do
a
forgive
particular...
me
So
while
these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
Okay. This. It's the volume number that I need, right? Here, let's go put a number 9. A number 9! Okay. Okay, let's mark that one. Oh. I think that was a tumbler. That was one of the tumblers, so... Do
What
forgive
did
me while I
Drake say about this collection?
look through these. Here, let's go listen to the second one, because the first one talked about Azathoth, right?
And these red rocks,
No.
like precious stones, lie fixed. Dear friend, I thank you. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White
So, wait, so number 1...
I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows.
Drake talked about a particular volume.
Arkham Arcology, Anthology.
We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
So something about chess.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection?
I'm confused. Damn, we're already at an hour or two. Let's see, I'm just trying
Dear
to...
friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
So I'm pretty sure that one's obvious, but... Drake's Memoirs. Wait. Each cylinder is numbered, even if, as the celebrated author says... pleasure reason. I wonder who that is. Look at that. Gold molded record. So number 3 talks about volume 9. Okay, so it's not
Drake
9999.
talked about a particular volume.
I feel stupid. Like, I know there's gotta be.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
Oh! Wait, what about this one? Alchemy. Is that what the third one's talking about? Or the first one? I think the first one talks about
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
The Grail. Okay, so the first cylinder, let's... The Grail. Here. Here. First Grail.
What did Drake say about this collection?
Obviously, it's that one.
Drake talked about a particular volume.
There's Solomon.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his... What did Drake say about this
Gotta be
collection?
something here talking about the
Drake
Holy Grail.
talked about a particular... So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection?
No.
Drake talked about a particular volume.
Maybe that is it. So that was number 3. Number 1. So move that to number 2. And the second one talked about chess. You're not chessboard, only the gods.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection?
What did he say? Maybe
Drake
it's just 'cause I'm
talked about a
tired.
particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume.
Because this is definitely the one of the ones he was doing. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's number 9.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular... So these are the volumes that Drake was... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a... So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume.
Alchemists. Oh god, I feel like I'm gonna be here a while.
The Queen has little protection.
Alright, we'll listen to him again, I guess.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
I'm sure it's
I
gonna become
finally
obvious to me at
understood
some
that we
point.
were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again
that
for
one's
the
obvious. I'm
anthology
pretty
of the
sure
works
it's
of
talking about
Arkham
specific
editions that
number
you sent
9,
me.
volume number 9.
Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particular, and these red drops, like precious stones,
Trash drops
fixed,
like precious
set in
stones.
divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from attraction.
Wait a minute.
So these are the volumes that Drake was what did Drake say about this Drake talked about a particular so these are the volumes that Drake what did Drake say about this Drake talked about a so these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection?
I'm confused, guys. I really am confused. Here, let's just turn the middle one. Maybe it'll... So obviously it's going by... Oh. Son of a bitch. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't want to cheat sheet. I don't want to go do that. I mean, at this point, I do kind of want it. What am I missing?
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its
Grail,
secrets.
gold, precious gems.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark souls. I see our numbers.
Drake talked about a particular volume.
And my will strengthens as my apprehension grows.
So these are the volumes that what did Drake say about this collection?
There's gotta be something obvious that I'm missing.
Now refuse to be the
Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection?
Frisian language. Send it back.
Drake talked about a particular
Things that should
volume.
not be. A study of American folklore.
So
In
these are the
title,
volumes
maybe?
that Drake was
Is that
talking
what it-
about in
I
his
thought
message.
about
What
the
did Drake
horror
say
size
about
is
this
anyway.
collection? Drake talked about a particular.
Keys
So
off.
these are the volumes that Drake
said
was
that
talking
Adrian
about in his
should
message.
die.
What did Drake
The
say about this?
prophecies
Drake talked
of
about a
Glory and
particular.
Linda.
So these are the
Things that should
volumes
not
that Drake
be.
was talking about. What did Drake say about
Corpus
this
Hermectum.
collection?
I really, really don't want a cheat sheet. I just feel like that'd be so freaking cheap. I'm missing something. I know I am. I left the Sanders house. Yeah, but... Order is the pleasure of reason, but indeed... I hope you'll be able to appreciate the danger. Oh god, I'm gonna be sitting here a while. I wish I could pause the stream. That'd be nice. Or this is when it'd be good to be able to cut things out in post. I hope that you would be able to appreciate the danger. Even if this. I feel like it's fairly obvious that the first one is 9, but what... The other ones talk about chess and the Holy Grail. There's so many other books. It's like 2,000 I'm going to... Oh man. This is horrible. Call Cthulhu. Safe. Combination. First safe. I'm having trouble with the safe. Wait, what? His daughter's birthday? Where the hell does it say that? Someone finds me in serious trouble. Vernos begin my dear mother. There's nothing about that. Is that a different one? Wait a minute. Is that the wrong one? Oh, freaking idiot. I'm looking at Dark Corners of the Earth. Bookstore. I've got to be a little more specific. Nameless bookstore safe. If anything, I just need a hint. I don't want to actually look at the whole thing. Call it Cthulhu. Maybe you could do better than the clumsy burglar. Right. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Oh, I was looking in the wrong idea. I knew this thing was important.
The chalice of knowledge.
I knew this thing was important somewhere. He talked about rubies. 1, 2. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, hold on a minute. I was thinking the wrong thing. It pointed out I was looking. I thought they were all involved in books. So which one was the first one? So that means the first one I counted 5 rubies on the chalice. Okay. So the second one talks about the chessboard. God, that should have been fucking obvious. Okay, he's talking about protecting against. So that means he's looking at the. There's 4 white pieces. Does that include the queen? Okay, it doesn't include the queen. Jesus Christ, that took forever. That's gotta be the Necronomicon. Look at it. Don't open that, Pierce. That book is not good for your... No. No. Someone's gotta be watching us. Someone's gonna be watching us. Pierce doesn't seem that capable a fighter. Ooh, what is this? No, he seems actually unfazed by it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Whoa. Oh, God. What's going on? Are we, like, transitioning into a different dimension? Okay. Cool. Absolutely. That answered my question. In the nameless bookstore, Pierce traced the trail of an attempted burglary. He discovered that Charles Hawkins was behind the attempt. Pierce opened the bookseller's safe to find what the latter and Sarah Hawkins had hidden there. A book covered in human skin lied inside. Irresistibly attracted the detective. When he opened it, his mind was projected into another body. Oh, into another body. So are they bringing the great race of Yith into this? That would be interesting. So are you basically going to... Is the great being of Yith about to possess our bodies or some shit? What the This is actually getting interesting. I like this. Hopefully there's not going to be any more puzzles where I look for the most retarded answer possible. God, I'm freaking ashamed of myself. Let's see what happens.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
Hey, Fitzroy.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh,
What the hell's going on here?
I'll see what I can do.
Who's that?
Mr. Blake, can you hear me?
Blake.
I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
Blackie.
There's nothing we can do.
Blackie.
I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Wait, did I move into Colden's body? Examine the patient. Has he been drugged? Call Dr. Fuller regarding the patient.
Very
I'm gonna
well.
examine him.
I'll examine him.
Let's examine, see what's going on with him. In the next episode, we'll figure that out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you with the next one. Hopefully this actually works and goes up on the channel, and you'll probably end up skipping about 20 minutes where I end up making an absolute fool of myself with how freaking bad I am at puzzle solving. Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you all had a good Black Friday, and hopefully you all will have a good Cyber Monday tomorrow. However, I think some people actually literally celebrate that, but